Claude has completely changed how I run my YouTube channel, which just crossed 2 million subscribers. And today I'll show you how I use Claude chatbot skills, co-work and design to make better videos and save time. For years, YouTube has been the single most time-consuming project in my business. Even with my team helping all the tasks in red, I still ended up doing myself. So when I started thinking about how AI could help me cut that time down, the first victim was obvious: script writing. In the past, I would easily spend 15 hours on a longer video just writing that script. But I found a way to use Claude to generate a similar script in about 2 to 3 hours. As for the quality, if I'm brutally honest, some of those scripts are better than what I would have written myself. Partly because I find that I have more time to research and plan the video instead of spending hours and hours scripting it. So I'll show you how it works and how you can build your own system. We'll begin with a few simple things you can do right now, and they work surprisingly well, and then grow into a more sophisticated setup with Claude skills that saves even more time and produces even better results. So let's create a Claude system for writing YouTube scripts. The best place to begin is Claude AI, the chatbot. Basically, Claude is like an incredibly bright grad you've just hired out of university who has no clue what they're supposed to do. And you have to train it. And the more effort you put into your system, the better it works for you. So to start, you need 2 main guides. And the first is the YouTube script writing guide, which tells Claude 2 things. A part that's easy to overlook but saves a lot of time is explaining not what to write, but how you want Claude to work with you to produce it, so you don't repeat it every time. For example, my setup looks like this. Claude requests a set of information for a new video, the idea, if there is a working title or thumbnail, my old materials on the topic, if the video promotes a product or lead magnet. So it prepares an outline and I iterate it until I like it. Then it skips the introduction and sends me the rest of the script section by section so I can control the output at every step. And then finally, the most important part, making the title, thumbnail and introduction the TTI to make sure they work together to present the video. To create the guide, just talk to Claude and explain how you would like it to work with you, and don't overthink it. Once you start using it, you see what's wrong and you can amend it. That's the first part of the YouTube script writing guide. The second part is putting into words what makes your videos yours. Your structure, your attention techniques, your style. You don't have to write it yourself. Instead, find 5 to 10 scripts you're particularly proud of. Select those with more views and better attention and where you feel you've done your best work. I know best work and views don't always come together, but still. Then upload them into Claude and ask it to uncover patterns in scripts and prepare a rulebook that covers the recurrent skeleton, your video structure, how long your videos are, teaching method, do you use stories, before and afters, demos, examples, retention devices, how do you transition between sections, do you like to ask questions or use open loops, credibility proof, what authority do you lean on, how it's phrased, how often it's used, CTAs, what do you usually promote in your video? Your products or lead magnets? How do you do it? Where do you do it? Formatting, just simple things we take for granted, like how do you leave notes for your editor? Read through the rulebook to see if Claude picked up something you use repeatedly and would like to have replicated in the future, or is just something accidental. I've also noticed that it tends to make the language a little too prescriptive. So instead of Asiya often does this, it will write, you must do this. And the softer version gives more flexibility, and in my experience, that works better. This scripting guide takes care of your video structure and overall approach. but the writing style will most likely still be off, even if you upload your previous work for the new script to draw on. And that's why we need another guide, the YouTube Voice Guide. You can use the scripts you've selected before, but this time ask Claude to create your voice guide. And some good sections to include are your core vibe in 1 or 2 lines. Do sound like a tough love expert or a kind friend. Who you're talking to. Tone with the actual lines from your scripts that prove it. Pacing. Words and signature phrases. Your sentence habits. Emotional approach. And, importantly, what not to do, like fake urgency or excessive cheerleading. I found that guide brought the overall style closer to how I sound, but it would still overuse AI slang and my scripts would be genuinely helpful and everything would be happening quietly and in batches of 3. The solution is an anti-AI guide. It's a list of phrases and grammatical structures AI tends to overuse. I took some of them from a Wikipedia article called Science of AI Writing, which is quite thorough, and added a few more of my personal favorites. So after my script is written, it's checked against the anti-AI guide and any infringing lines are rewritten before the script is delivered to me. If you'd like to download a copy of it, I linked it below. Basically, the easiest setup is to create a Claude project. So first of all, ask Claude to generate those guides for you as Google Docs. So you have a copy. Add them to your Google Drive and from there, download them as MD files. The reason is AI language models work more efficiently with the MD format rather than doc or PDF. Go to Claude Projects, create a new project, upload your guides as project files, and in instructions, give a short explanation as to what this project is for and what each guide is for. And if you're wondering whether you can use ChatGPT instead, that's what I actually started with. And I've discovered that ChatGPT is just not as good at following instructions as Claude at the moment, even with exactly the same guides. It just tends to forget some of them, especially as you progress through a long script, and the quality just keeps degrading. Okay, so once you've run your project a few times, gradually improving it and making it work the way you want, you start noticing its limitations. In particular, when you upload too many files into Claude at the same time, it doesn't know which are important and which are not, and it's just trying to hold everything in its memory at the same time. So you fill up the context window and it starts to forget stuff. And this means it's time to convert your project into a skill. The main advantage of Claude skills is what they call progressive disclosure. It means the skill can pull in the information it needs when it needs it and set aside when it doesn't. And that opens up a more advanced setup. So now we have the core skill called Skill MD with the primary instructions, only the most important stuff, and reference files which it can call when they're needed. So I created separate guides for each part of the process, the voice and anti-AI guides, credibility proof points, how to write video introductions, best titles, best promotions. And that really helps because on YouTube, we sometimes stumble into something that works better than usual, but we don't sit down, analyze every introduction and every promotion, so we never really build on what worked. We just keep reinventing the wheel. With Claude, I could create reference guides that draw from my best performing videos and reuse what worked best. And to create these reference guides, we need Claude Cowork. And this part is fascinating. If you haven't tried it yet, you really should. Unlike Claude AI, the chatbot, Cowork can access files on your computer and on the internet, and it can actually carry out tasks like a real assistant. It's brilliant at routine jobs that are simple to explain but take ages to do. So let me show you how I created guides to improve my video introductions and increase conversions from my videos to course sales because it's so impressive as to what it can do. So by itself, Claude isn't particularly good at writing video introductions, but it's much better at imitating your previous best ones. So the best introductions are the ones where the retention is highest at 30 seconds into the video. That's the assumption. So that's what we can see in the YouTube Studio when we look at the retention graph. And going into every video script to see what I actually said is so time-consuming that honestly, I've never done it before. But with Claude Cowork, you can grant access to your scripts and to Google Chrome so it can open your YouTube analytics. And if you want to be extra secure, you can create a separate folder for Claude rather than giving it access to your actual folder with all the scripts. And there are risks in letting Claude into your browser too. But I think with a task as precise as just opening your studio and checking retentions, it's safe enough. So I asked Claude to list every video with 30-second retention above 68% and then go into the script and copy those introductions into a separate Google Doc. And it did. It took a few hours, but then I received this document with all the introductions in one place. And I could upload them into Claude AI and ask it to analyze the introductions, identify any frameworks that have been used, and create a guide with those frameworks. And that's what my Claude skill now uses to write new introductions. I must say they aren't perfect. I like to think that I write better ones myself, but it's a great starting point. Another thing I love about Claude Cowork is how quick it is to track and analyze sales that come from my YouTube videos. On my channel, I add Google UTM credentials to all my links. And when I go into Google Analytics, I know how many people bought my courses from a certain video. And over time, that helped me identify which types of videos sell more and which types of promotions work better. And that allowed me to increase the revenue from each 1,000 views a lot. But analytics was so burdensome, and you have to get the number of views on each video from YouTube Analytics, and then get page visits and sales from Google Analytics, and combine all that into one spreadsheet to calculate revenue per 1,000 views. Now, Claude just generates this table for me, and then it can go into those scripts, copy the promotions into a separate file, and so now I can reuse my best promo copies in new videos. And what I've noticed is the first time Claude approaches a task, it's usually highly inefficient. It gets stuck on silly things, it burns tokens like crazy. But after it completes the task eventually, you can ask it to analyze what consumed most tokens and how it could approach this task better next time. So Claude will basically write instructions for itself. Now let's talk about Claude design. One thing I haven't mentioned yet is that every animation in this video was created by Claude Design. And this is the first time in my life that I made any kind of animation. And these looked almost exactly as you see them from the very beginning, so very few iterations were needed. But to get results that actually fit your style and brand, you need to do one step before generating anything. You need to upload your design system. Basically your colors, fonts, the general style you use across your videos and your business. And I do have a color palette, but it didn't have a description of my style. So I took screenshots of my web pages and some video slides and asked Claude, the chatbot, to create a design guide. I expected a simple text description, but it actually came back with this really pretty design page. I uploaded it to Claude Design together with my logo, and it generated the design system. So next, I gave it a description of the animation I wanted, the dimensions and how long it should be, and uploaded part of the script that the animation goes with, and Claude just made it. and you can actually edit it. You can edit text, fonts, colors, just like in PowerPoint, or you can tell Claude what to change. And it takes a few minutes to generate each animation, and it consumes quite a lot of tokens, but I could still make all of them in 2 days while working on the script on my $20 plan. For me, saving time with AI isn't really about doing less. It's about freeing up more time to think about the high leverage parts of YouTube that actually move the business forward, like how to generate more sales by improving 2 key parts of my channel. And in this video, I'll show you exactly how it works. And thank you so much for watching me today. See you in the next video.